John Mayer, singer, songwriter, virtuosic guitarist, raised in Connecticut, USA, dropped out of Berklee College of Music, but then spent 21 very successful years with Columbia Records. 7 Grammy wins, 19 nominations. I discovered him in late 2008, as did much of the UK. When I first started citing him as an inspiration to my own songwriting, I felt like I held this musical secret. Obviously, he was already huge in the States. Inspired himself by Stevie Ray Vaughan, his guitar playing has been praised by the greats. B.B. King, Eric Clapton. He's collaborated with Leon Bridges, Katy Perry, Frank Ocean, Taylor Swift, Fall Out Boy, Alicia Keys, Ed Sheeran, Shawn Mendes, Lizzie McAlpine, and Jacob Collier, and has even been a key player in Dead & Company. He has his stunning signature Martin and PRS guitars. I thought I knew about most of his collaborations with other brands until I stumbled across this Rolex. Yeah, you could get a few guitars for that price tag, but hey, at least you don't have to practice a watch. He's not just a musician, but a tastemaker in style and design. He appeared with Steve Jobs at the 2004 Apple keynote address, introducing the music production software GarageBand. He's always embraced social media as a tool for promoting his music and showcasing his personality. There is plenty I've missed off in this short profile, but if you're wondering what the fuss is all about, have you really deep dived into his music? John Mayer isn't just a guitarist, he's a storyteller, and I know that he's currently in the studio recording right now, so here are just a handful of my favourite songs thus far. Feel free to add your list in the comments, as I'd love to talk about every single one of my favourites featured in the Spotify playlist linked below, but that'd be too effusive. Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. From the 2006 Continuum album produced by Mayer and Steve Jordan, it was never released as a single, but is definitely one of his most popular songs. I love Melancholy, and the opening riff in C-sharp minor is bluesy, somber, iconic, and something every Strat player learns. Instantly recognisable, gorgeous double stops, a riff embracing the entire range of the guitar. The lyrics too drew me in when first listening. You are in the midst of this final one-sided conversation between two lovers. It's confessional, specific. I was the one you always dreamed of. You were the one I tried to draw. How dare you say it's nothing to me? Baby, you're the only light I ever saw. I'll make the most of all the sadness. You'll be a bitch because you can. You try to hit me just to hurt me, so you leave me feeling dirty because you can't understand. I love how he has never shied away from guitar solos in his studio versions, but kept them as a taster for the extended improvisations in his live shows. Wild Blue from Sub Rock, released in July 2021, I think you'd agree, this is the standout track from the entire album, produced by John Mayer and Don Was. It wins the contest for overall summery vibe and total transportation to Californian blue skies. The solos sound very inspired by Mark Knopfler. I bet I'm not alone in being able to sing every single note with a great electric guitar impersonation that I can do. No, I am not going to do that for you right now. But if your guitar solo on your studio record isn't catchy and can't be sung, don't include it. Leave them wanting more. Still Feel Like Your Man from The Search for Everything. Released February 2017, produced by Mayer and Chad Franskowiak, exec produced by Steve Jordan. I always love dejected lyrics paired with an incredible upbeat groove. I'm not quite sure he has another song like this one. It felt like a departure at the time. Orchestral almost in moments, and I can't decide whether these are some of the greatest or cheesiest lyrics ever written. But my God, do you know that he's singing his truth? I still keep your shampoo in my shower in case you want to wash your hair. And I know that you probably found yourself some more somewhere, but I do not really care, because as long as it is there, I still feel like your man. Talking of evocative lyrics paired with almost film school level type of arrangement, Walt Grace's Submarine Test, January 1967, from Born and Raised, released in 2012, is a phenomenal song that I swear everyone was Googling whether or not this was a true story. It feels so historical. How could this have been dreamt up? I was listening on repeat to the entire album exactly when I was finishing my dissertation for my classical music degree at Bristol. I remember being sat in the library, wind and rain and darkness outside, and just imagining I was in Montana in amongst mountains. And this album is something I return to over and over again. Paired with producer Don Was, again this was seen as a huge departure from the bluesy electric albums that had come before. It felt introspective, self-aware, and became his third #1 album on the Billboard 200. The opening verse is so descriptive. It's poetry. Walt Grace, desperately aiding his whole place, dreamed to discover a new space and buried himself alive. Inside his basement, tongue on the side of his face meant he's working away on his placement and what it would take to survive. Last but not least, at all, is Belief. Not the studio version, instead the live in Los Angeles version from the 2008 Where the Light Is record. This is also me cheating, as I also need you to listen to the live versions of Neon, Vultures and Stop This Train. But before I get sidetracked, this was the first ever song of John's that I heard on some kind of guitar mixtape a friend made. I stopped in my tracks when the opening riff came on. And this song is probably responsible for me refocusing my attention on not just accompanying my voice with the guitar, but instead trying to find my second voice on the guitar and making it an integral part of my music. This live performance, recorded over a few nights at the Nokia Theatre, released as a concert film, is the best example of why John Mayer is a guitar hero. This was a marathon performance, divided into 3 sets, first acoustic, second the trio, finally full band. Belief is the penultimate song on the record, and my God, is it electric. You need to stand with your guitar in your hands in a dark room, blast this out your speakers or headphones, obviously protect your hearing, close your eyes, pretend there are stage lights shining on you, a band watching your every move as they back you, and put yourself in John Mayer's shoes. That must have been spine-tingling. Oh, and the message of the song is sadly continuously relevant, totally evergreen. Why haven't I included any of his music in this video? Because I'm fearful I'll get copyright striked. So I've made a playlist on Spotify if you want to hear all these songs and more in action. There is a link in the description. While you're over there, give me a follow too, and get ready for my releases later this year. Okay, thank you for watching and getting to the end of this video. Please subscribe to the channel, it really helps me out. And for more news and exclusive updates, sign up to my newsletter. There is a link in the description. I've actually also just released a new lecture on my course site titled How I Built My YouTube Channel, if you want to learn a little bit more about my journey. But as always, I'll be seeing you here very, very soon.